Welcome to the Luminess webcast workshop. I am so excited to be here with you today. We are going to do something really fun. I know a lot of women, especially over webcasts we've had before, have asked that same question. How do I remove the excess weight? How do I make myself look thinner, appear thinner, create that perfect illusion of looking thinner? So today we have Kathy, who is going to join me and be the model, and she's going to actually let me show you how I'm going to make her look thinner and more contoured and a lot more defined. Also, before I get started, I know Mark is not here. We all miss him. He is out of town in New York doing something for the Tyra Banks show, so everybody wish him luck. And Heather, as you notice, is usually right here, is not here today. She's also out, so I will be taking questions from somebody who's going to be delivering them to me, so please still ask any questions you have, and I'll make sure to address them before the show is over. Okay, let's get started. Kathy, have a seat. We're going to get started with Kathy here, and I'm going to quickly go through her foundation and her blush and all the other steps and still walk you through them quickly. So this way we can get to the main part as far as contouring and making her look a lot thinner. So we're going to start off, and we're going to start off with a primer. Remember, especially since Kathy has more mature skin, now her skin is nice and even, you still want to put the primer so this way her skin is very hydrated. If you don't have this, make sure you go to lumcost.com, okay? So this way you can order this. Now I'm going to get started taking my stylus, shake it up, put 1, 2, 3, 4 drops. That's all I need. I'm going to go in and spray Kathy here, working in the same motions that I would as the foundation, making sure to get a nice even coverage of this primer so everything's nice and hydrated. Especially right around the eyes where we tend to be the most dry, where we don't build sebaceous glands. Fabulous. And since we're going to be contouring right around this area a lot, making sure we remove any excess weight or just defining. Even if you're someone who you don't feel like has a double chin, or you do have a double chin, or you just want to look more defined, more thinner, more lean, I mean, that is the area that you want to concentrate on. And you really want to spray the primer because we're going to go in there with the color and spray in that area. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm going to get started. Everybody, make sure you do your concealer first. This is all by preference. I like to do my concealer first, so this way it's all nice and bright underneath there before I get started on the foundation. I'm going to use the concealer number 2, okay? Notice this concealer has a lot of the peach properties inside of this color. This is going to help me control the darkness underneath her eyes and brighten it up, okay? So it's going to be more or less the corrector, okay? And remember, go to lumcost.com if you don't have this item, especially if you're in Kathy's tones. Kathy's running in the fair kit, okay? So I'm going to go and put some back of my hands. We can get started here. And some people only use the corrector. I myself love this. Again, I'm going to add something else, and this is the brightener, okay? Make sure you use the brightener. It's going to brighten the eyes, give it a really beautiful glow, and I love this. I'm married to this concealer every time I do my makeup. So we'll go ahead and start off with the peach concealer so you can see, and then I'll put the other one on top so you can really see the difference and actually see why it is that I'm using both, okay? So I'm going to start off, and right here where she has her moon, so I like to call it, the dip in her eye is where I want to concentrate. I'm putting the corrector. Okay, make sure, ladies, that when you go in and you put on your concealer, that you're tapping the concealer in. Make sure you're tapping it in. Because if you're rubbing it, you're actually removing the coverage that you're looking for. Already, you can visibly see some results. And it's almost too peach if you really look at it. It's almost too peach, but you need that. You need that to help to correct it. The peach is what helps to correct the dark circles. So that's perfectly fine. okay? Because we're gonna go right in and follow it up with that brightening color, and you're gonna love the finish. You're gonna love it. Okay, so I'm going in now. Kathy, give them a good look so they can see. We've covered up some of the circles. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna brighten it up, okay? And then you'll really see some great coverage there. Just gives that finished look. I mean, you need the peach to cover it up, to help to correct. You go in there with that brightener, and it does exactly what it's doing. It's brightening. That's what it's there to deliver. Okay? So there we go. Look at that. Look at that. What great coverage we have there. Okay, turn this way. I'm going to go in and even it out. Do the other side. Remember, I'm still tapping. I'm not rubbing the concealer in. And if you're a little worried, well, Brandy, you're putting on 2 concealers. I don't know, throughout the day, I feel like it's too heavy or it's building up or it's too much. No, make sure throughout the day if you have to touch it up, you just put your finger right on there. Turn this way so they can see. Put your finger on there throughout the day if you have to, and just roll. That will make sure, it's almost like, you know, putting on your concealer all over again because it freshens it up and just gives it a pop all over again, okay? I love this concealer. It doesn't move. Alrighty. Now that I've done that and you can see her eyes look a lot better and brighter, you can go in and touch up after the makeup is all done. I'm going to move to the next step. I'm going to go in and I'm going to go with her foundation. Kathy likes a matte finish, okay? For those of you with mature skin, you can definitely go in with the satin and give yourself that perfect dewy finish where you look like you just walked out of a spa. But I'm going to use the matte because Kathy, we're Texas girls, okay? So we live in the most humid city ever, and she wants to make sure that her skin stays matte as if she has a foundation and powder finish, but without the heavy, yucky feeling, okay? So I'm going to go in with the matte. And this is great for pictures, especially if you're going to be doing that contouring and taking that weight off and you really want it to look flawless for pictures, weddings, or whatever, etc. It's perfect. So mature skin, don't be afraid to use the matte. It still wears comfortably. Just use it lightly. You don't have to use a lot, okay? Less is more. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to correct what I see first. Any little spots she has. So sorry, I'm telling all on you, Kathy. Okay, so after I've done that, I just went in and covered any spots Kathy has. I'm going to go in and start in circular motions, working my way around. This is, again, the FM2 matte that I'm using on her. And make sure, women, if you have any broken capillaries or anything around your nostril, that you're going in and you're spraying that out very gently, very pulling back very lightly on your throttle. Fabulous. And making sure that you're blending it in. Remember, Airbrush blends in effortlessly for you already. But blend it in. Blend it in on your neck. Okay. I'm just going to add just a little bit more. Now, right where she has her little moon dip, I'm going to go in there and just add a drop for the coverage, just so it gives a flawless appearance. Okay. Now, remember, you don't have to put a lot if you don't want to and you want a really natural look. Just put very little. I'm just going to make sure. And Kathy loves that perfect finish where it looks like she has foundation and powder on. If your stylist happens to splat on you because you're spraying too fast or you're moving your hand too fast, just tap it out, ladies. Tap it out. Don't go in there and take a sponge or a tissue and wipe it out. Just tap it out, okay? So I'm going to spray out whatever I have left here. Doing okay there, Kathy? Alrighty. So I'm going to move on to her eyeshadow. I'm going to do something really light and quick so this way we can get right to the main thing that we're doing. And I don't know if you have this, okay? This is the B6 blush. And I'll show you the B6 blush, okay? Make sure you go in and use the B6 blush for everything as far as that natural nude look. Right now, Fashion Week, this is the look, that really beautiful nude look. So I'm going to go in, put a little bit of eyeshadow, a little bit of blush with this. We're going to go in and contour, and I'll show you a really fast look that's going to be fabulous. Okay, close your eyes. I'm just going to make sure I spray out any excess. Spray it quickly. Adding some warmth to her eyes. And Kathy has these beautiful blue eyes. Okay, open up your eyes, Kathy. Perfect, okay? Now I'm going to go in and put a little bit of blush on you. If you're around the hot weather, it's already going to be fall, so this isn't necessary for everybody, especially if you have mature skin. But if you're taking pictures or anything like that, it's fabulous. You go in with a little bit of powder and you finish yourself off, okay? Only in the T-zone. You don't need it everywhere else. Remember, Luminess is about that nice, beautiful glow. I'm going to go in. And we'll powder her off in just a moment. Put on some lip liner. And remember, this blush is great for that nude lip. Now, Kathy doesn't typically wear a red lip or anything like that. She likes a coral, going with a little bit of nude. A little bit of coral, it'll be pretty. But right now, I'm doing that nude look on her, and it's a very soft look. And I'm going to go in, and we're going to contour before we powder, okay? Contour before you powder. Remember, liquids first before you do your powders, okay? So I'm going to go in. I'm going to grab the F8, okay? F8. Remember, go to lumcos.com. If you don't have this, this is the contour color. This works great for all shades of skin, okay? So take this, put a few drops, okay? You're going to go in and contour right in here. This is where you're actually going to help remove some weight, okay? So whether if you're thinner underneath there or if you're not, and you just feel like, you know what, I don't see that, but when I take pictures, all of a sudden I have a turkey neck. All of a sudden there's a turkey neck. If you see that, then you know you need to do this, okay? Right in here where her jawline is, put some warmth right in there. Warm it up. That helps to lean it out. Go in and contour right there in your cheeks. Contour right there in your cheeks. And add some warmth. Just in. I just got a question, so I'm going to take a second. For acne scars, do you need to use any additional product? Acne scars? Not really. You just take the same amount of product or foundation you're using. Make sure you go in and do a spot check. You barely throttle back. Do a spot check, spot check, spot check on where you might have acne. And then as soon as you're done with that, go in and do the foundation everywhere else. That's going to be the technique for getting the better coverage you're looking for. Okay? This might be heavier for you at home if you're not used to wearing a lot of bronzer or being really contoured. Remember, this is helping to remove the weight. Okay? And all I'm doing is going underneath her cheekbones and right underneath here, creating a shadow. Okay, so go ahead and take a look straight ahead, Kathy, so they can see I just created a shadow. It's a little shiny there, bear with me. It's because it's still wet, but once it dries, it's going to be flawless. It's going to give her that contoured look. And I'm going to go in with the powder. Remember, the liquid goes first, and then you add the powder. At this point, if you want to add a little bit more pink for that glow on the cheeks, it would be flawless, but Kathy wants to do a neutral look, so we're staying with the neutral look today on her. I'm going to go in with a little bit of powder on her T-zone. Remember, if you have mature skin, you can wear the powder. This is our powder, and if you're asking which powder it is I'm using the clear. You can use a powder, but try only to stick to the powder in your T-zones. Not everywhere, so this way your skin still looks nice and hydrated, okay? And remember, don't be afraid to add a lot of warmth underneath your neck area, because that is exactly where your neck is going to look chubbier in pictures. Or most of the time you take a picture and you kind of squeeze your head back, and most women aren't aware of their body structure, and that's where their neck looks chunky. They got the turkey neck. So there we go. A nice finish. Go and look at the mirror for me, Kathy. And you notice she looks more contoured. And notice we're right in here. Most women aren't even aware of that. Right underneath here, if you can go a little bit lower on her neck, you can see before, I don't know if you noticed, but she was a lot lighter because she didn't get any sun there, okay? So I went in there and I just, warmed it up because it's going to look great in pictures, okay? And don't be afraid to go and put a little bit of powder to tap it out, blend it in. It's going to look great because in pictures, or even just walking around in everyday life, you're not aware of the fact that you don't have any sun exposure there. After the summer's over and you're really pale there, it's going to darken it up, make you look more lean. Bring it up. Look at that. Turn to the side, Kathy. It just warmed it up and contoured her just right, okay? So it gave her that perfect finish. All righty. And I don't think a glamour girl is any glamour girl without any lip gloss. So I'm going to add some lip gloss. So we'll just put a little bit of lip gloss on her there. I think every girl needs to have some lip gloss. And there we are. Alrighty. So now that we're looking at everything all finished, I'm going to say finish her off. Finish her off with a little bit of warmth to the neck area. Add some color there, all over in the décolleté. Add some warmth there, okay? Most women are totally opposite color. If you look at her, she's really neutral. She herself is very yellow toned on her skin and her face. But on her décolleté area, she's not. She's picking up a lot of that pink skin toned. She doesn't have that warmth. Sorry. Gotta remove the pearls to get there. And it just blends everything in. It just adds that warmth, okay? Just blends it in. Look at that nice tan. Remember, don't be afraid to use your airbrush to go ahead and correct some of those areas, to add a little bit of warmth, to make your skin look more sun-kissed. I mean, it really gives a great finish, okay? And look at that. You see how her neck looks a lot more contoured? You can go in with a stronger line if you want it to be even more defined. But look at that. She looks so much more defined. She has a great finish. This is flawless. This is flawless. This is what I'm talking about right here. Very contoured. Look at those cheekbones. Before you couldn't see it. Now she looks flawlessly contoured. Okay? More lean, more defined. She looks like she just went to the gym. She just worked out. Fabulous. Fabulous. Okay? So after you're done doing that, make sure you don't forget about your mascara, ladies. We can't live without mascara. This is a fabulous look just for every day. Even if you don't do your mascara, ladies, no lip gloss, no anything, put your foundation on, put some blush on, contour, and you got a great look. Just that all alone. You go in and tap out those lashes. And she's so lucky. She has blue eyes, so it doesn't take much. Doesn't take much at all. This is coming from a brown-eyed girl. A brown, jealous-eyed girl. And I'm going to tap those bottom lashes very lightly. Okay, and remembering, if you see any lines, just go in and tap them out for the finishing touch. Okay, and there she is. Look at that. What a nice photo finish. I love the airbrush. It gives a nice photo finish. Notice how she just looks so much more contoured. Look at that neck. Really go down to her neck and really look at it. It just looks so great. Remember, I added some warmth in there because imagine before, she was like 3 shades lighter underneath here. So what it did, it just grabbed all the attention straight to her neck. Ends up making you look a lot heavier. So I don't know about you, but I would say Kathy looks like she burned off a good 5 or 10 pounds. What do you say, Kathy? You agree? Yeah? Kathy, can you see yourself there? She looks great. Fabulous. Alrighty, ladies, thank you so much for your undivided attention and joining me today for the webcast workshop. I hope that you have learned a lot about contouring and actually grabbing the depth right there in that area, so this way you can make yourself look a lot finer, thinner, more defined, and fabulous for that everyday photo finish look. Thank you so much, and this is Brandy signing out with LuminessWebcast.com.